So little did I expect to be talking about the Securities and Exchange Commission and Gary Gensler twice in a row, but here we are. It appears that now Gary Gensler is going after decentralized finance. So I'll jump right in to the article that I'm talking about, and we'll kind of read through some of what's going on and have a discussion about it. So the article headline says, the US SEC sees decentralized crypto platforms as exchanges and seeks public input. I didn't highlight this part, but I do need to read it because it is very important to the article. It says the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission met on Friday to open public comment again on its proposal to expand the definition of an exchange, clarifying that its existing rules on exchanges also applies to decentralized cryptocurrency platforms. So they met today, and their discussions are, hey, this side of crypto, this decentralized side of crypto, needs to fall under the same rules and jurisdictions as a centralized exchange. That's basically what they're saying. What this would mean for decentralized finance is probably a lot of the coins that they carry being removed, probably these platforms being removed, because they could be breaking securities laws. But let's continue with the article. The SEC voted 3-2 to take additional comments from the public after crypto firms criticized the plan as vague and aimed at roping in decentralized finance platforms, also known as DeFi platforms, that would otherwise not be subject to regulators' oversight. So until now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, when it came to cryptocurrencies, they went after the centralized exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, FTX. But they never really touched on DeFi. And I guess now they've developed a little bit of a heartbeat for DeFi, and they want DeFi to be under the same definitions of an exchange that centralized platforms fall under. We'll continue. Some DeFi platforms may fall under the proposed definition, but others may already be considered exchanges by the existing one. And again, this is what I was talking about in the video that I released last about the SEC. They're saying that their existing laws, their existing rule set covers crypto, but these are new technologies. How exactly could new technologies be able to be covered by these older rules that were built specifically for basically the stock exchange? We'll continue. Make no mistake. This is Gary Gensler now. Make no mistake. Many crypto trading platforms already come under the current definition of an exchange, said Gary Gensler in prepared remarks published on Friday. Most crypto trading platforms meet the definition, regardless of whether they call themselves decentralized. So he doesn't care if you're calling yourself decentralized. You're going to be under the thumb of the Securities and Exchange Commission because they consider you to be an exchange. So a platform like Uniswap, exchange. You are going to be held under the same jurisdictions of a Coinbase, even though Coinbase has an entire they have an entire staff. There's office buildings. There's everything. But then, I don't know, it's kind of a gray area. And this is why the SEC needs to build new rules for crypto, because even though we call it decentralized, Uniswap was built by someone, right? There are people that upgrade Uniswap. And just recently we had SushiSwap that was hacked, and they agreed to give back all of the funds that were lost. So someone's controlling it. Even though it's considered decentralized, someone's behind all of it, turning the wheel. So maybe he has a point to a degree. I'll continue. The reopening doubles down on initial proposal that would force centralization and undercut new technologies. This is per Republican Commissioner Hester Pierce, and he said at the same meeting, this is what he said. This one kind of bothers me because I love trading on DeFi, and if they crack down on DeFi and consider all of these coins securities, then it just removes your ability to potentially grow, whether it be in knowledge or finance, through using these other coins. But we'll continue with the article. While the crypto industry has urged the SEC to provide regulatory clarity, Friday's move provided very few answers and likely raised additional questions for the sector, said Nicholas Lacerdo. He's a former counsel to the last SEC commissioner. They want to say our existing rules work. All you need to do is fit within them, but they don't in many ways. And I think that's another thing that the agency is grappling with. And I agree with that. This is exactly what I was talking about in the video that I released last. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But again, these are new technologies. These are new ways of transacting. These are new currencies. So you need to build a rule set. You need to build laws that encapsulate this new technology rather than continuously putting all these restrictions against it because of existing rules for other technologies or other markets, such as the securities markets, the stock exchange market. I believe that cryptocurrency needs its own rule set if they are to govern it and if they are to be competitive in this space, because make no mistake, the United States is not competitive when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Outside of China, this is probably the most unfriendly place to be a cryptocurrency user, trader, or anything of that nature. If you want to be a trader or you want to hold crypto, the best place for you is outside of the United States, other than China. So that's what's going on. Gary Gensler and team are now going after DeFi, and I don't know what that means for DeFi. Will we still be able to use DeFi here in the United States within a few months or within a couple of years or however long it takes for them to really dig into this and potentially crush DeFi here in the US? Or is it going to be just a vast wasteland where all coins are considered securities and maybe you only have a pick of a few coins and everything else is just gone? No tokens on these DeFi exchanges in the United States. And I call it a DeFi exchange, but decentralized finance. It could all be gone because they're considered securities and they are not registered as securities. I don't know what this means. We'll just have to wait and see, but you can rest assured that as more develops on this story, I will be sure to present it to you guys. But please sound off below. What do you think? Do you guys think that the Securities and Exchange Commission is actually in the right? Because a lot of these tokens and coins are securities and they do need to be regulated as securities on the DeFi platforms, even though these DeFi platforms do not go through the same regulatory bodies as a centralized exchange? Or do you think they should just leave them alone and it should be the wild, wild west? I'll tell you, if you trade on DeFi, you know it is the wild, wild west. So do you think it should remain that way, or do you think that protections should exist? And if protections do exist, it needs to fall under some sort of jurisdiction by the SEC. Let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you again for watching. I am Aaron. This is Pour Over Finance, and we are out of here. Peace.